Previously on the Shannon's Dream Bike Build.
We're a custom and restoration shop based on the Gold Coast in Queensland. We work on anything and everything. So the client this time around is a guy called Scott. The ideal motorcycle for him to build his dream bike from is going to be a CB500 or a CB550. I've got a lead with a guy that's actually local. His name's Honest Dave. That's what we're looking for. Does this come with it? Is there any warranty on this thing or what?
I just told you where the street ends.
Yeah, that's it.
Coming up next.
It can be a repairable thing, but with this much damage, it's probably easier to get some new crankcases or, if not, a new engine.
Yeesh. Old bikes. G'day YouTube, here for episode 2 of the Shannon's Dream Bike Build. We've introduced you to the project, we found our base bike. Now it's time for us to take that bike into Jesse and have him tear down the engine. It's a really important part of the process for us, so we're going to get into it right away to make sure that we know what we're working with.
I'm Jesse, I'm a mechanic at Purpose Built Motor. So I became a mechanic when I was 18, just after I finished high school. My dad has a business rebuilding engines, which is pretty cool. Involved a lot of performance engines, especially on bikes. And I've been doing that, for 12 years now. Sometimes we get engines come in and they're a bit dodgy, and some people have just lacquered on the paint, probably to try and seal some oil in.
World's worst blue paint job on this.
Oh, yeah.
How weird is it? Okay.
That's got it. Yeah. That's it.
Okay, you gotta go out your way a bit.
Lovely. Did
The
it
other
say, running, clear title,
Yeah.
just needs some rego and some blinkers?
Bit of air in the tyres. Come have a look at this. It's not really what you want to find inside a motor. We might have to just run some tests before we see if we can turn it over, and we'll run like a compression test on it or whatever before we pull it down, and then go from there.
So with the compression test, we usually pull all the spark plugs out, put a compression tester gauge in the spark plug hole that screws in, crank the engine over with the throttle wide open, and that'll build up pressure, and that'll give you an indication on how much cylinder pressure that one cylinder is holding. So we've just tried to do a compression test on this engine and found that it's very, very tight with turning over. So first things first, we'll flip the engine over, take the bottom crankcase off and inspect the crankshaft, and we'll go from there.
Alright, so what do we got?
So I just found the main bearing journal in this engine has spun, damaged the crankshaft and damaged the crankcases. So it's not looking good.
What does that mean? Like, is it a repairable?
Oh, it can be a repairable thing, but with this much damage, it's probably easier to get some new crankcases or, if not, a new engine.
Yeesh. Old bikes. Assuming that this is a fixable thing, what do we have to replace to get it?
Well, you'd
need 2 new crankcases to fix that.
Ooh.
And a new crankshaft, because these crankshafts, a lot of the times you can't grind these down to an undersized bearing, so you need to get a new crank as well.
I'll have to give Scotty a call and let him know. I have like a 550 motor that I know is good. It's dirty, but it's good. All right, no worries. Well, I guess we can just leave this out for now. Hopefully by tomorrow or whatever, I can have an answer and figure out what to do and move ahead. You've got to expect a little bit of trouble when you pull a busted old bike out of the back of someone's shed after sitting for 10 years, but this is probably worst case scenario. Now I've got to call the client Scott and see if we can work something out with a 550 engine that I have laying at the shop.
Scott speaking.
Hey, we've just started working on this bike of yours today. We've got the engine out and ready to pull it down. We found a bit of damage on one of the bearing journals. So I've hunted around, I sort of like found a few bits and pieces that we could potentially replace it with, but like the issue is we've got to replace the whole crankcase, top and bottom, plus the crank. So that's sort of adding, at a guess, probably like all said and done, you'd be looking at maybe $1,000 or $1,200 in extra parts. What I was gonna suggest is, because I've bought and sold a few of these bikes recently, and I've got an engine here that I know is good. I've actually, I've opened it up before, and like I know that especially the bottom end I know is fine. So, I mean, the top end of your 500 needed a refresh anyway. So basically, yeah, if you want to swap it out, you'll land yourself with an extra 50 cc's of horsepower.
Oh, mate, I'm pumped. Love it.
All right, too easy, man. Yeah, I just wanted to check in to make sure you know what's going on. So we'll get into it, and I'll touch base with you in a couple of weeks when we have a bit more progress for you. Lucky for us, Scott is a pretty understanding client. We've worked out a solution where I'm going to swap my 550 engine that I had at the shop with his busted 500 engine so we can keep this build on track.
Guess I'm pulling apart another engine. So the process of an engine rebuild will be the tear down. We'll measure the parts, order new parts, send away for machining, send away for blasting and polishing, and then finally we'll get it back and we'll do the reassembly.
Now that Jesse's got his teardown and measurement done on that 550 motor, we get to go shopping. This motor is going to get treated to a set of performance pistons, Mikuni RS carburetors, new valves and valve springs. We're going to port and polish the intakes. We're going to put a Dynatec ignition in it and a set of performance ignition coils, new bearings and seals through the whole engine, hydroblast and clean all of the cases, and polish and chrome some nice details.
My name's Donnie, I'm the fabricator at PBM here. Been fabricating here for about 3 years now. And yeah, bikes is a massive passion of mine. If I'm not riding them, I want to be building them. Engine build is progressing really well, so we're going to start the fab work. We're going to start at the front of the bike. We're going to put a new caliper, like a modern caliper on the front. We're going to fit it to the original forks. Going to go see our good mate Parlo at Motogen and go shopping for a caliper. Good brother, how you going?
Good, yourself?
Good mate. What's happening?
It's you, mate.
You too.
What are you guys after?
So, looking for a caliper, Parlo.
Yeah, mate. Let me see what I have here.
Single-sided disc, so probably something,
Do you
some
know?
bike, a little bike, 650 or something.
All right, no worries.
Japanese,
what
I
I can-
suppose, preferably.
Yeah, mate. Have this one here, mate.
Oh, sick. The ones with these are always like easier to mount. Yeah, that'll be perfect. We don't need anything bigger than that, so. Awesome.
Yeah, that might work for you.
Yeah, that'll work. All right, brother.
No worries,
Thanks
mate.
very
Thanks,
much,
mate. Take care, mate.
Cheers. We're just about to get stuck into the CB500 caliper upgrade. Just put the new forks in, we're going to put the dummy wheel in there, get it all mocked up, and going to centre the brake caliper on the brake.
So these are actual wheels?
Nah, these are we're just using these at the moment as mock-up wheels. Ours are out getting powder coated and got to get them laced up and stuff like that. So we're just going to use these to knock them up. Now we've got the front wheel mocked up in there. Now we're going to go ahead and template the new caliper mount. We're going to cut that out of some 10mm alley and yeah, get into it. That's the finished product for the front caliper modification we've put on there. So we've made that alley bracket and we've welded it to the original tube. Just when we're sort of mapping out something like this, we always have to make sure none of the original structural integrity is going to change when we weld it. So preheating and all that stuff, making sure it's really clean, and also trying to not get too much heat into it, because too much heat is going to warp this tube. And then your inner tubes won't be able to slide down there and fit all nice. So that's the finished product, just going to clean that up now. These are going to get powder coated, make sure everything fits all good. Just finished up the mock-up for the caliper modification. This is like a caliper off an SV650 Jap bike. And we've just made an alley bracket here, and we've welded this alley bracket onto the original tube and made it all look pretty. And this is just final mock-up, just make sure it all works. Got clearance on everything. Now with the first fab job out of the way on the CB500, that's all done. We're gonna check in with Jesse and see how he's going with the engine.
So we just got the engine back from vapor blasting. We've put the bottom end together. We're waiting on polish and chroming to come back. And now we're just going to put the top end back together now. So we just finished the internal assembly of the engine, and now we're going to put all the polished and chrome parts back on to pretty it up. That's the engine build all wrapped up. We've already started a little bit of the fab work, but episode 3 is where this bike is really going to start to take shape with the custom work. You ready, Donnie?
Absolutely. Like and subscribe if you want to keep up to date.
Next episode on the Shannon's Dream Bike Build.
Fabrication work done for the Shannon's Dream Bike Build is an absolutely imperative piece of this project.